Welcome to the Brooke Show. Today we have a very special guest, Katherine.
Woo!
That's right. The authors of the historical fiction novels.
Son of a... Can't talk right now. Sorry.
It's okay.
Bess, son of a farmer, about a poor son, Bastian, who has to become his father's job at being a farmer and building temples for the pharaoh. Also, Osiris, son of a scribe, who has to get beaten at school every day. Hard life. And last, but definitely not least, Isis, daughter of the nobleman. Daughter of the nobleman, the rich and the powerful.
These are also diaries. So, Katherine, how does it feel to write 3 amazing novels about the 3 classes of Egypt?
Well,
It's okay.
It feels very good. Gotta get all my giggles out. It feels very good because each time a kid reads it, I feel like I just moved their soul in a different direction.
Are you going to read anything for us?
Am I? May 30th, 2030 BC. Dear Diary, today I woke up in the reeds mat that I sleep in every night and pulled off my rough blankets covering me. I walked into the kitchen to join my family to have some bread and fruit for breakfast. Then my father and I went out to the fields to harvest the corn. This season is Shumir, March and May, and in June will be Akkad. My father will build temples for the pharaoh in Akkad. We cannot grow crops during this season because it is the flooding season. My father grabbed his stickle, a wooden stick with sharp flint edged on the side. As my father cut the corn, I picked up each corn that fell. We got Junior Bess, a coward raised when I was a young boy, to stomp on the corn to get the rain out. Finally, we came in for lunch, and I asked my young sister Isis how her first day of chores was. She told me all throughout lunch about how fun it was. I was surprised about how much fun she had. After lunch, we went back into the fields and picked apples from the trees. I picked each apple and placed it in my basket, but the basket had a hole in it. My mother told me that tomorrow my father would go trade the crops for a new basket.
Wait. I'm so glad you came on my show. Keep going.
My mother and father are teaching Isis and I how to write better. When dinner came around, we ate fruits and bread. I said goodnight to my family and went to bed. Tomorrow I could watch the animals like my father told me to. There's Bess. Now we go to Osiris, son of the scribe. Dear Diary, today I woke up in my bedroom made of fine wood. I had to go to school today.
Sorry, keep going.
My father is a scribe and every son has to be what their father is. I've been in training since I was 5 when the training begins. It takes 12 years to become a real scribe and I'm only 11, so 6 more years. Today at a very special school where only scribes could practice, we wrote hieroglyphs by writing a...
Sorry. It's okay.
We practiced writing hieroglyphs by writing a story. At school, if you mess up, you get beaten. We wrote our stories on papyrus, old pieces of pottery. Hieroglyphs is very...
It's okay.
I'm not that.
Hieroglyphics.
Sorry. Hieroglyphics is very complicated and hard. My father told me when I got home from school that people need scribes because scribes can write a letter for those who can't write. Because only few could write. Record amounts of harvested crops, calculate amount of food for the tomb workers, and keep amount of supplies for the temples and the army. My father also told me that scribes did not have to pay taxes, which I was very happy of. I asked him why there were no girls in my class, and he told me only boys could become scribes. I went to bed very happy because of my future. Last, like I said again, definitely not least, Isis. Dear Diary, today my servant Bess, who attends to my daily needs, woke me up and helped me get dressed. Today my mother was having a banquet with dancers. For breakfast, we sat on cushions in a low table with a small meal of fruit and bread. My father left to go hunting in the desert. My mother got ready for her banquet. My mother told me to go get bathed for the banquet, and Bess helped me. I went into a separate room in the house to bathe. Bess poured jugs of water on top, and the water drained down into the pipe, and I used cleansing cream to wash myself. My father came home after, and he had caught a fox, and the servant cooked it in the clay ovens in our kitchen and put it on a gold dish for the banquet. My mother and I got ready for the banquet. Sorry, I'm gonna get so nervous on these kind of talk shows. Banquet by my mother doing my hair in a pony, where she took out her wig and a fox and put it. People, old ladies, were bald.
Keep going.
My mother I'm so sorry you have to deal with me right now. My mother put on her beaded dress and her beaded gold collar.
Ooh, bling bling.
She gave me a silver bracelet, and since it was not summer and it was winter, I wore my cloak. Funny story. In the summer, they went nude, the kids. Could you imagine little kids running around naked? We both put on our decorative sandals. At the banquet, the dancers were amazing. The other kids and I played scent the whole time, then had a fox and bread Bess made. Once it got late, I went to bed. That's all I have. I have a lot more.
That's a lot of information. So, what is scent?
Well, it's like a little board, and it's up on 4 legs, and it's 3 by 9, and you go from right to left, left to right, and you have pieces, and you throw sticks in the ground, and how many are pointing to you, then you get to go that many spaces. If you get a 2, a 4, or 6, you have another turn, and then, but if you land on a spot occupied by your opponent, you and your opponent switch, except if your opponent has 3 or more in a row, then you can't really move that piece, and then once you get all your pieces off the table, then
sounds
you
fun.
win.
So, do you think we could play this game? But first, do you have interesting facts for us?
Well, I don't really have many facts, but I guess besides them, they play leapfrog, and they played with dolls, and kids are very important. Although I really wanted to get to the differences. If you realize Bess was waking up in a reed mat, which is hay kind of, and then we have Osiris sleeping in a bedroom made of fine wood, and Isis putting on silver bracelets, and her mother was putting on a gold collar.
So once again, bling bling.
So I think there is a big difference, which makes it hard for me to write these kind of books. That's pretty much all.
Well, that's good for today. Thank you, Catherine. Now, this has been Brooke Show.
Let's go play Scent.
Yeah,
It's a pretty interesting game.
Crushed it.